The private sector is hanging in there despite the policies of this administration, not because of the policies of this administration. And the other group that we must appeal to with our message is disgruntled Democrats. Some of them are beginning to admit that they are having voters' remorse. But we can't just depend upon them to still vote our way. Some of them legitimately want to have a compelling reason. So that's what I've been up to, continue to spread the message. The other question that I often sometimes get asked is, am I supporting Governor Mitt Romney? Absolutely yes. And yes, I have met with him. And when I met with Governor Romney a few weeks ago, my opening statement to him in the discussion was, Governor, you will sew up the nomination, and I'm going to do everything that I can to help you get elected, because I'm still on a mission. It's to help you get elected now, defeat Barack Obama, get control of the United States Senate, and maintain control of the House of Representatives. But I said, I want to make it perfectly clear. I don't want anything. I'm not looking for anything. So no, I'm not on a short list, nor do I want to be on a short list. That's too much work. I'm enjoying just being a pain in the anchovies of liberals. And I don't need to have an appointed position in order to continue to do that. So that's what I've been up to. That's what I'm going to continue to be up to. And some of you may have heard that it was announced earlier this week that the famous radio talk show host, Neil Boyce, is retiring at the end of the year. And his last day will be Inauguration Day in January. You may have also heard that Cox Radio and WSB have signed me to a contract to replace him. That means that I will be speaking to 6 million people a week. I think that in itself is a very dangerous proposition for liberals. So that's what I've been up to. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to focus on helping Republicans win, not just the White House, but also the Senate. If you've been to HermanCain.com, you will see that there are a number of Senate candidates that we have actively gotten behind, because we need to get back control of the Senate as well. So with that, I will open it up to some questions. Where's Lawrence?
Right here, sir.
Lawrence, you go first.
Mr. Cain, three-part question, quite simple. One, do you have any regrets for dropping out of the GOP nominating race? Two, do you still believe, as you did last fall, that Romney or Kerry campaign was behind those smears? Three, do you feel there's definitely a double standard?
Let me answer the second one first. I never said that the Romney campaign was behind those smears. We never said that the Perry campaign was behind those smears. What we did say, to be accurate, is that there were some coincidences in the Perry campaign that were not, that raised some red flags. That's what was said. So we did not definitively declare that they were behind the smears. The other question, do I have any regrets? I do not regret putting family first. That's what this was about. When someone deliberately wanted to smear my reputation with lies over and over and over, and many people in the media, not y'all, insisted on spinning these lies over and over and over and over, it was painful to my family. So I have no regrets of putting family first. Now, what was your third question?
Now you just made me forget.
See, those first two answers were so compelling.
No, actually part three was, do you feel there was a double standard in the media?
Yes, there was a double standard. Absolutely. The online so-called cable news site that I will not name to avoid a lawsuit, you know who I'm talking about, who basically broke the story. How do you explain that in a 2-month period, based upon lies. They ran 772 stories on Herman Cain and those accusations. You don't have to take my word for it. Go to the Media Research Center. They track this kind of stuff. So was there a double standard? Yes. And in their case, their standard was get Herman Cain to drop out of this race. But here's what they didn't achieve. They didn't shut me up, because I'm still out here promoting conservative values, and I'm still promoting that famous tax code solution that maybe some of you all have heard of, 999.
Mr. Cain, one quick follow-up. You've come out and you've made it clear that you endorse Mitt Romney for the purpose of bringing unity to the party. Do you believe that possibly Dr. Ron Paul should also come out to bring unity to the party?
Yes. I think it's now, look, the process is what it is. It's not perfect. We know that. But now, I believe that all conservatives and Republicans need to focus on the bigger mission. So yes, I do believe that Congressman Ron Paul should also get behind our nominee so we can defeat Barack Obama.
Thank you, sir.
Will you be campaigning with Mitt Romney?
Yes, I will. Don't know to the extent to how much or where, but yes. But I'll also be speaking on behalf of many of the things that he and I agree on, which I'm doing. So it may not necessarily be shoulder to shoulder on some of the stops, but yes, I'm going to be actively out there supporting him. Let me take a couple more.
Mr. Cain, the Tea Party started out by being against the run-up of the debt and high taxes, of course, that come with that. And they ended up chanting at the Congress, "You work for us." Do you think that the critical issue before us right now has to do with budget, or has it got to do with our core of actual popular sovereignty and national sovereignty right now?
I think that we have co-critical issues. Number one, this struggling economy. Businesses are hanging in there, looking for some relief in the form of replacing the tax code, looking for some relief in lessening the governmental regulations that are being slammed onto businesses, and small businesses are the ones that are being hurt the most. So the economy. Secondly, yes, our national security, and thirdly, co-equally our sovereignty. You're absolutely right. The American people, the Tea Party people, they have had three very simple objectives when they look at a candidate. Fiscal responsibility. This Congress hasn't even passed a budget in over 3 years. How do you run any enterprise without a budget? The answer is you don't. And so this Congress and this administration, this president, they're making it up as they go. Now, I'm not mad at y'all. I just get passionate about this, okay? So don't take this as me being an angry black man. No, I'm a passionate patriot. Similarly, the spending. Here's what the administration and this president don't get. The American people get it. They get it. They understand that we've got runaway spending. They do. And they understand that this president, this administration, has been negligent in effectively dealing with it. So yes, I think national sovereignty is a big issue in the minds of people. But first and foremost is this economy. They know that the jobs numbers are being jimmied with. They know that because there are enough of us out there reminding them.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
Julio Arceo, WGCN Radio. Speaking on national sovereignty, a couple months ago, Defense Secretary Panetta told Senator Jeff Sessions about the decision that our troops will, in order to go to war, will get our decision from the United Nations and NATO. And we saw a couple months ago the decision going to Libya was based on the UN resolution. Do you see that as a continual trend, that we will get our decisions from government bodies like the UN and NATO, or should we go back to following the Constitution and get a declaration for that?
When we elect Mitt Romney, we're going to follow the Constitution, not the United Nations. Therein lies a big difference between Republicans and Democrats. Some people still respect the United Nations as a body. I don't think it's time to throw in the towel on them yet, but we should not be following the United Nations when it comes to war. We should go back to the Constitution. This gentleman, he was here first, so he gets the last question.
The first one is, can you tell us about Cain's deletion revolution and how it impacted your ability to try to serve as not just
Cain's Solutions Revolution is a not-for-profit initiative that I started after I got out of the campaign to continue to promote replacing the tax code with 999, sound money, making the dollar as good as gold. Those two go hand in hand. Thirdly, continuing to spread the message that as a nation, we can become energy independent. We have the resources, but we have something standing in the way called the EPA. It needs to be replaced with what Newt Gingrich describes as the ESA, Environmental Solutions Agency. And so solutions is what we have got to get our elected officials to focus on. One of the things that has always been consistent in my career is that whenever I've been presented with an opportunity, good, difficult, impossible, I've never been presented with easy ones. I don't know who gets those, but I've never gotten an easy one. The one thing that I have always done is, first, if it's an opportunity that I'm excited about taking on, and I pray about it, and make the decision to do it, I never look back. Too many people make a decision in their career and they're constantly second-guessing themselves. It takes extra energy. Never look back if you're convinced that passionately this is something that you want to do. Thanks for that question. Well, thank you all very much.